Hi, me again. Okay, that's not really me. I'm a lot cuter. But I'm interrupting because I realized that in my last video, I left Ireland without telling a couple of important stories that unfolded there. One was a funny, awkward moment, and the other was a poignant lesson I relearned. First, the funny one. Our driver, Tom, was a complete and total joy. He was jovial, informative, and funny. We all got along great. And after a couple of hours of this getting along and feeling comfortable with one another, Tom rather innocently asked an extremely loaded question. It was on the road between Tipperary, yes, it's a long way to Tipperary, and Emly. We had just finished telling him how wonderful cruising was and how fantastic the Crystal Symphony was, and there was a couple of seconds pause, and Tom asked, "So, did you fellas leave your wives on the ship?" Well, in a split second, I decided to dive in with both feet. Using humor as a tool, I responded with much bravado, "Well, Tom, you stepped in it this time. No, we didn't leave our wives on the ship. Our wives are right here." There was a pause, and then a chuckle, and then a "Okay then" from Tom, and on he went with describing the gorgeous Irish countryside to his cargo of queens. Oh, and before you misinterpret my words, that was humor. Gay couples don't separate into husband and wife roles, although Gooch is much prettier in an evening gown than I am. Kidding. Now, the second story is one that re-taught me a valuable lesson. It happened outside the church in Emly, the one where we found Gooch's sainted ancestor. After seeing the beautiful interior of the church, we were about to leave and we were walking to our car. As we strolled and talked, I noticed a man coming up the long driveway walking toward the church and us. He looked a bit disheveled, and my Los Angeles prejudiced mind kicked into high gear. Oh boy, I thought, here we go. Some bum is going to come up and ask us for money or accost us in some way and ruin this wonderful moment here. As he got closer, my mind began to race, trying to come up with a way to avoid him. "Excuse me," his voice had a thick brogue. "Excuse me, you can't leave yet." I froze. "You can't leave until you've seen the gardens." The man was not a bum. The man was not ruining the moment. This dear man was a caretaker of the church grounds, and one of his prides and joy was the garden in back of the church, the Four Seasons Gardens they were called, and he wanted to make sure that we saw them before we left. This dear man, the bum who was going to ruin our day, showed us to the gardens, told a brief story about their history, and then turned and left us alone to enjoy them. Don't judge a book by its cover, and give everyone at least one chance was retaught to me that day with great clarity. Thank you, Ireland, for so much.
Bottled water because I really need to rehydrate. Get one.
What?
She's
I'm gonna be her backup dancer.
Oh, where are you singing?